Do you want to be married and why?
Yes, I do. Like Austin, like Paris, Penny. My parents are married. And not only are they married, they adopted me and my brother. So that was a sacrifice in their relationship that I saw that when I was younger, I didn't see the friction, but as I got older, and not necessarily friction, but the ultimate sacrifice of taking two children and that are not naturally yours. So I saw them come together and work, and have a family structure. Like Austin, my dad, he had the final say. He was a leader. He is a leader. Um, my mom, she worked for a little bit and then she became a housewife and she took that job very seriously. I saw my dad go back to work, or go back to school, make more money to go to work. I just seen that lifestyle. I see how it works. My parents, May, 35 years married. So I just see I've had the example of marriage. I've had the example of a leader, of a man who is going to go out and work, who's going to, go to church and pray, who's going to let you know when you're doing wrong, even when you don't like it. I've lived that. I've lived in that, under that covering. So I know what it looks like. So I definitely want to be married. And I want to be married because I feel like I'm a natural helpmate. I've been on teams all my life. All my life I've been on a team where I've had a coach or a band instructor or major or someone telling me what the hell to do.
You was in
So
the military,
that
Precious?
huh?
You was in the military? You said major. You was in the military?
No, like a drum major.
Oh, okay. I see what you're talking about.
So I've always had someone in front of me telling me what to do. So that doesn't bother me. A lot of women that bothers. Oh, you ain't gonna tell me what to do. You ain't gonna tell me what to wear. You ain't gonna. But I fall right in line with that because I've been doing that, my whole life. So it doesn't come as a surprise or, I'd rather do that. Tell me what to do. Give me something to do. So I that's just how I've grown up, how I've lived my life. Um, and even now with working, I go into work and I listen to a boss. So why wouldn't I do that? It just comes natural to me. It's like a plug and play kind of thing with me. So I definitely want to be married and to be that help me. Honestly, what can I help you with?
I also will add
That's
to
it.
this, Precious. Another thing that I've seen growing up in, a two-parent household, I have seen a man sacrifice and be disciplined. And I don't think we talk about that a lot. We talk about what they give and how they provide but I've also seen him go without. And that was the best thing that I could have ever seen, like when it came to parenting and making ends meet so you guys can reach your best end goal. When he would step back and say, well, I don't necessarily need this, or I don't have to have this, if this is going to be something my wife wants, or if this is something that my children want, he don't have to have whatever it was to appease him. And we don't have that discussion about men giving up things a lot, because the idea is that women are the ones always over putting and always over, extending themselves.
And it's taught to you too, right? Like, my dad was cheap. We had money, but he was cheap. Like, so it wasn't, if I asked for something and I couldn't get it initially, it, got on my nerves, but I then worked for it. You know what I mean? So it was kind of like you want something, you work for it. I'm not going to give you everything you want. I'm going to give you all your necessities. I'm going to give you everything you need. We didn't want for anything. We took trips. I mean, I've been so many places. Discipline is major and it needs to be shown in households. If you don't see it, God help you. Seriously. If
It
you
was.
don't see it, God help you, because I couldn't imagine if I didn't get adopted and where my life would be.
I think it's very interesting. People miss sometimes that when you're a man, the greatest form of love, actually, it's taught. The greatest demonstration of love is sacrifice, especially self-sacrifice. And I think it is an underappreciated quality of the best of men, where they will sacrifice. Like, for example, my dad has a Cutlass that he's had since he was very young, and he's always wanted to get that thing, upgraded and retooled and repainted, but he always put his wants in the back burner for the needs. And he has a saying that I'll never forget. He said, you got to give them everything that they need and some of what they want. but they got to have everything that they need that's the forefront. And I'll never forget when he said that. And I think that is an underrated quality. And I would argue the most underrated quality of the best of men.
All right. Like I know Luis had a question. I just want to throw some in there real quick. Men, how do you feel? Well, the women can chime in on this too. But how do you feel with the last name being hyphenated?
Nope, I want your last name. I want it. I want your last name. I want yours.
No, that's right. Look at Matt. If I'm blessing you by putting a ring on it, you damn it's sure you're gonna take my last name, or you're gonna keep that last name of your maiden name, whatever it is. You won't be married by me. He's not married. He's not. I'm not going for this hyphenated Jada Pinkett Smith shit. We're not doing this. You gonna get my last name, or you gonna like it and enjoy the benefits of it, because it comes with benefits. I promise you.
Now I know that. Like I know that balance was asked. Was there any gray area, wiggle room? Is there any wiggle room with that at all? He, say
no,
just
no, okay. No wiggle room. She's not. Yeah, she's not gonna be blessed. It's hyphenated. No, again, a lot of these ladies, they want that traditional man, but you're not willing to be a traditional type woman. You want to hyphenate shit. That's that modern woman shit. And I'm not with it. Give me an old fashioned woman. A woman who's gonna be ready to ride and get on the team, man. Hell no hyphenated here, JR.
Is there anybody on the panel that will support it for any reason?
I mean, okay. My mother took my daddy's last name. So for me, and this could be a generational thing, I don't know that it's a absolute hard no for me. I don't mind the hyphenated, because by technicality, I don't care if your last name is Alexander Broughton or Johnson Broughton, whatever. My last name is still by technicality your last name. So I don't, I don't see it quite. I don't see it quite the same. It does make Hank has a very, very, very valid point. It's really a symbolic thing. When a woman takes a man's last name, it's symbolic of you're no longer your father's problem, you my problem. So I absolutely don't disagree. But for me personally, there's a slight amount of give that I'm open to, whereas Hank is just a hard no. But I absolutely understand and could not disagree with really none of the man's points. That's purely personal preference, I think.
Okay.
I've had the pleasure of working amongst the Asian community and stuff like that, and it culturally for them, the women keep their dad's last name. So a lot of times you will see them where they are married. However, their actual surname is a lot different than their husband's, and that's just a part of their culture. And coming over here to America, when they do integrate into our society, some of them they adopt the traditionalized fashion of taking their husband's last name, but a lot of them hyphenate. So when we talk traditionalism, I just think that it would have to be, what tradition are you more so trying to cater yourself to? Because for me, I don't know nothing else aside from dropping my dad's name and taking my man. But other women now have decided to do it for different reasons, because of the fact of education, because of the fact of their job, or I've had a woman in a professional field, and she told me she was being lazy about doing it because it cost too much, and everything that she had done when she was going to change over, it was going to take way too much time, and she was in the process of doing something else, and that was just going to be quote unquote a disruption. But it is what it is. I think people should fight about who name they want in their own household, because I know what I'm gonna do.
Well, look, fortunate for me, I'm not marrying an Asian woman, or Indian woman, or pale ass white woman. I'm marrying a beautiful black woman, and that black woman is going to be blessed with my last name. Ain't no negotiation. Ain't no talking about we ain't got the money. If it means I got to go and borrow money from my daddy, I get a loan to get that name changed on the license, on the house or whatever, at the bank, whatever we need to do, we gonna do that. We're not coming up with no goddamn lazy ass excuse. I'll take a week off if we take a week to do all of these things. So be it. Social Security office, we going there. We doing all that. but it's gonna get changed because that's what you married into.